What's up, guys? Doug here, Recording Connection Audio Institute. Let's go through and create some virtual instrument tracks. Really quickly before we do that, I want to talk a little bit about the difference in MIDI tracks that you have inside Pro Tools. There are two types of MIDI tracks. The first one is MIDI, and the second one is an instrument track. Basically, the main difference is that an instrument track contains two types of tracks actually combined together, basically. Prior to having an instrument track, what you had to do in Pro Tools is you had to have a MIDI track go to an audio device. Your essentially your MIDI track would go to like an external MIDI device, and it would play back audio through whatever sound that you chose on that particular MIDI device. So it was like you had to have a MIDI and an audio track combined. So what we're really doing when we use an instrument track is you're sending MIDI information to an instrument and then to an audio track that plays back that audio. So a MIDI track, and I'll show you the difference here. Again, Shift Command N for new track, and then you can actually hit Command and the down key to kind of cycle between track types. And if you come over here, you can take a look at an instrument track. An instrument track has everything. It's a one-stop shop. Let me do actually one more. I'll do a MIDI track. So there's a MIDI track. Now you'll notice that there's no inserts on a MIDI track. All we can do is have have MIDI information sent to one of our devices here. So that's a huge difference. Obviously, I can't insert anything on this because it's not going to be able to play anything back. All it's going to do is send MIDI information, but I can record. So I can actually record audio, MIDI, and then it will actually send that out to whatever device I choose. I can also send this out to like Ableton or something along those lines as well. So other softwares and things like that, as long as I have those configured correctly. So that's the difference in the MIDI track. For the example that's going on in the book right now, we're going to actually create two. I'm just going to delete this really quick. Two stereo and two mono instrument tracks. So Shift Command N. I'm going to go ahead and hit 2. Scroll over to my right. So Command and the right arrow key makes it a stereo track. Command down gives me my instrument track. And then I can actually Shift Command down, and then it gives me another track dialog. I can hit 2 again. And then just Command down to instrument track. So that will be 2 stereo, 2 mono instrument tracks. So, just to give you a better look, let's go ahead and click over to our mix window. Now, the mix window has several views, and, in your book, you'll notice your view looks a little bit differently. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to configure this view to show me my instruments and also get rid of one of my sends here. Well, I can leave that up. So now that I've got my my instrument view here, I can actually see and I'll have different parameters that pertain to that particular instrument. Coming back over Command plus and equals puts me back to my edit window. Now we're going to enter the tracks here. So again, you put an instrument on an insert. So for this first one, we're going to use boom to drum machine. The second one, we're going to do structure free, and then to make my workflow a little bit more seamless, I'm going to select these two tracks since they're going to get the same plugin. I'm going to hit Shift and Option, and then I'm going to hold those down. Come over here. Oh wait, you got to make sure they're both selected here. Shift Option. Come over here. Instrument track, and then I'll hit Expand, and I get an expand on each one. So that's it for now. There will be another tutorial kind of walking you through the next phase of the process here. So stay tuned.